Another concept that we must take a look at in the world English's context is English as a second language. English as a second language is a more generic term which is used whenever we talk about learning of English by non-native speakers. It is considered an inclusive label for teaching English to those who already speak some other language, which means those who've already learned a language. Whenever they learn another language, we use this generic term ESL without distinguishing between EFL and ESL situation, without distinguishing whether they are learning it as a foreign language or as a second language. So what do we mean by learning English as a second language? To start with, this term was used for the learning of English by immigrants to inner circle countries. And inner circle countries, if you remember, include countries like America, England, New Zealand, Australia, all the countries where English is used as a native language. So when people immigrate to native English speaking countries, they of course need to learn their language, and they need this language not for the sake of learning a language like people do when they learn it as a foreign language, but they have practical reasons, they have practical uses for the language. So they learn it as a second language. They already have their first language, their mother tongue, which they have acquired since birth, and now they learn the language of their adopted country, and they learn it as a second language. So they take up English for all their necessary businesses. Of course, when they are living in an English-speaking country, they do everything in English: go to school, go to university, go to work, go shopping, do grocery, everything in English. So they need English for a number of businesses. And not only these necessary businesses, but also social interactions. Of course, they will also, when they're living in an English-speaking country, they'll also make friends with English-speaking people. And then there are also immigrants from other countries who they do not share the language with others, and they need a language to communicate with each other also. So they need it for social interactions and also for other practical purposes. Because ESL users generally are the learners who have immigrated to an English-speaking country, they need to quickly learn English because they have real uses for the language, unlike learners of English as a foreign language who have no use for the language outside the classroom. But those who learn English as a second language, of course, have lots of uses for the language. Therefore, they learn it with more interest. Also, in ESL situations, the study is more intensive because people, after having immigrated to an English-speaking country, then want to become a part of the affairs of that country or start their normal, regular life. They want to learn English quickly, so the learning of English in an ESL situation is more intensive, and the learners aim at developing a very high degree of proficiency and also include speaking. That also includes speaking proficiency. So in an EFL situation, learners are not really worried about being able to speak in English, but in an ESL situation, being able to speak in English is the foremost need of the learners. Because of the higher degree of proficiency which is expected of ESL learners, and also the need for proficiency in speaking, EFL situation and EFL learners are considered more proficient than EFL learners. Other than these distinctions, Stevens has made another sophisticated distinction between English as a foreign language and English as a second language. He makes this distinction. He distinguishes English into a primary and a secondary language. English is used as a primary language again by native speakers. All those who use it as a native language, as a mother tongue, home language, etc., are considered primary speakers or users of English. Those who use it as a secondary language are the ones who use it for the purpose of business, education, diplomacy, for international trade and international relations, etc. So all these situations are called English as a secondary language situations. In English as secondary language situation, again, two distinctions are made. One is that of English as a foreign language, and the other is that of English as an official or institutionalized language. English as a foreign language is used in contexts where it is not the medium of instruction, it is not a code for administration, it is not the language which is used for the administrative purposes by the government, it is not the medium of instruction in education, it is not used in media, broadcasting, and other public and private discourse. If that is the situation, we will call English not only a secondary language, but within this distinction of English as a secondary language, we will call it a foreign language. Within this English as secondary language situation, we have another context which we call English as an official language. In English as an official or institutionalized language context, it is used in education, it is used for writing literature. So in this situation, we will have non-native users of English who write literature in English. The English will also have officially designated functions. For example, in Pakistan, English is used in many government domains. It is the language of the higher courts. It is the language of higher education. And not only that, it is also used for social interactions. When a language is extensively used in education, especially by young people, and also for diplomacy, etc., this use also finds its way into private and social conversations as well. So in English as a secondary language situation, English as an official language is also a context. What situation do you think we have prevailing in Pakistan? Is it EFL or ESL? Think about it.